horse stance.
Today we're going to be comparing sweeps from 3 different martial arts styles. We'll start off with the Muay Thai sweep from my instructor Josh Brackett. We'll then show you a Judo sweep from fellow YouTuber Shintaro Higashi. Then I'll show you a karate sweep, we'll break it down, and we'll talk about the similarities and the differences in each one.
We've got karate sweeps, Judo sweeps, and Muay Thai sweeps.
Cool, let's do it.
It's a whole lot of brooms. All right.
All right, here we go. So this one's gonna come from a clinch position. Ideally, I'm gonna have my hand on a bicep here, hopefully my hand on his head, and I'm gonna use his upper body. I always think of a steering wheel, and that's where I'm gonna turn him with my upper body. I'm gonna take his elbow to my hip, and I'm gonna push this way, okay? So it's like if I took it away, it's a steering wheel position, right? So a lot of your sweeps come from here in Muay Thai. Because I can't, it's always gonna work easier if I use my legs and my upper body together to pull him through the sweep. So what I'm gonna do here is, I'm gonna throw a knee here. This knee doesn't seem available to him because of where my hip is, but I'm throwing this knee to get him to throw that knee. Throwing the knee here. Now, to get the sweep, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna attach my foot here. I'm gonna pull him with my upper body, and I'm gonna sweep out his leg this way. So, the mistake that people make is if it doesn't work, they just take their foot away. I'm gonna keep my foot here and make this sweep happen. So I'm gonna throw a knee. Oh, he throws a knee. Boom, he throws a knee. I throw a knee. Now, next time he throws, I'm gonna turn him this way. So what I do here is the steering wheel, and I attach my foot, and I'm gonna kick his foot, turn his upper body.
It looks like an old country dance.
Exactly. So I'm keeping my foot here the whole time. So when he throws this knee, I'm gonna hold it there. If I let it go, he might not fall. He'll be off balance, but he won't fall. The mistake people make is when he throws the knee, if it doesn't work instantly, they just let it go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe I'll throw my knee and I'll put my foot here. Boom.
Yeah.
Put my knee, put my foot here. Then when he throws, see, it didn't go at first, but I kept my foot there, so he went.
and you've done this to me before in sparring, and this works because you don't expect the foot to stay there. The first attachment comes, and you're like, I'm good, and then you go to pick up your foot again.
Yep,
and it's still there. Alright, sweet. Mr. Shintaro Higashi with the best judo channel on YouTube. If you want to learn how to throw somebody, this is who you go to.
Yeah, come check me out. Sure. So we're gonna start off sort of in this clinch sort of an idea.
Okay.
Right? And the best foot sweep here is gonna be this sort of circling ashi barai, it's called. I'm gonna step to the outside and I'm gonna bring Seth around me here, okay? So now when the weight comes off of this front leg, that's when I sweep the leg.
Sweep the leg.
Sweep the leg, yeah. Because right now if there's weight on this leg, that leg is not going anywhere, okay? So I want to shift the weight from that leg to that leg by pulling him, rotating, and this is my timing for the foot sweep. Okay? Right, I step to the outside, I circle, he steps with me, and this is the timing for the foot sweep, right? Because most of the weight is on that back leg. Yep. And then once that leg gets driven through, then I take him straight down to the floor here. Right, so let's look at it from this angle here. When I step to the side, foot sweep, boom, boom.
Yeah. We can do that when I didn't know I was going down yet.
So this is one of those techniques that's very timing oriented, right? And it's kind of like throwing an uppercut, right? If you know I'm going to throw an uppercut, right, you're going to be able to defend it. Sure. Same idea. If I'm going for that foot sweep, right, and then the foot's coming, you know what's coming, you're just going to step right over it. Whoops, really easy, okay? So this is one of those things that when you get blindsided, you don't know it's coming. You're taking a normal step when you're shifting weight from the one foot to the other, and you're expecting the floor to be underneath you. That's when you get taken out. That's when you get tipped over, right? Yeah. So when you try this, you have to do it on a sort of cooperative opponent first, right? A neutral sort of a uke that's sort of moving with you, letting you do this stuff. Yeah. And then once you do it in sort of live, right? It's got to be boom. It's got to be timed properly, or it won't work. Yep. Locked up here, step, circle, flip your boom. Now let's go. Ready to go? Ball. 1, ball.
Yeah, and a lot of the stuff that you see, you might be like, they were walking through it, of course he was able to throw him. Yeah. But that just means that you don't actually practice and you don't know any better. Okay, so for the karate one, we're gonna do what we call an ashi barai. I don't really call it that, to be honest, but you guys are gonna recognize me as that. It's a front foot sweep. So if we're in a stance here and we're fighting, I'm gonna grab the front hand, or the wrist specifically. A little bit easier, obviously, if they have a gi on, but we're gonna go here and latch onto the wrist. Doesn't have to be a hard grip. The main one that I really want is the shoulder. Okay, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go here, front hand, grab the front hand, back hand, grab the shoulder. I'm gonna take this back leg, like I'm passing a soccer ball. I'm gonna try and go with the instep of my foot and knock his foot up. Now, if he has got a lot of weight on this foot, it's gonna be really difficult. What I'm gonna do is while I'm coming in, boom, boom, I'm gonna put a little bit of weight on. So this way I get this foot up off the ground, and then I'm going to pull it back this way. In the opposite direction pretty much. I wanna make his foot go this way, his upper body go that way. So as we're going here, push, pull, and then drop into a nice horse stance so you've got something to do afterwards. Now, we're also gonna go with the sport karate version. So as we're bouncing around here, we're very bouncy guys. My feet are gonna be a little bit more sideways, which makes this really easy to get because you don't have a lot of stopping you from going up. We're on our toes a lot, which means I can kind of pry my foot underneath, but what we're gonna do, it doesn't even have to knock them down. All I wanna do is I wanna go, boop, and try and pick this foot up, bang, and then ideally I can get something out of it. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to make it so this foot goes in front of him, which is natural for his body to do. This is a little bit easier because of the bouncing. There's plenty of times where I'll sweep it like an inside crescent. There's also times where I'll just go low kick, where I'll just try and pick this foot up. Now it can work against Muay Thai guys too, where I'm here, and I go like this, and I go boom, and I'm just trying to move it across the body. So as the check comes, my sole purpose is not to do damage, but to move it. To check, boom, I'll make the purpose of pushing it. Push, pull, and then drop into a nice horse stance so you've got something to do afterwards.
Now, there were 3 things that I noticed that held true for each sweep. Number 1, keep the foot attached for as long as possible. I actually noticed this one not because of them teaching it, but because of them showing it on me. Funny enough, for both of them, the first time they did it, I didn't realize that they were intending to take me down that time.
I didn't know I was going down yet.
So with minimal effort, and me not necessarily trying to fall down, they were still able to stick that foot and stop my landing. Number 2 would be the timing and consideration of momentum. Our feet are pretty usually stuck to the ground. However, there is a time and a place where they're not.
Okay, so now when the weight comes off of this front leg, that's when I sweep the leg.
Boom, boom, I'm gonna put a little bit of weight on. So this way I get this foot up off the ground.
I'm gonna turn him when he throws it. So as he throws it, he's on one leg, and I pull and turn him this way.
So in short, wait for the perfect moment of imbalance. Or create it. In all 3 examples that we show, you see we are trying to manipulate the lower body in the opposite direction of the upper body. And that's all fine and dandy, but what I didn't realize is that everything I just said, Shintaro predicted.
When I teach takedowns, my main concept is, the reason I'm saying this is because if you have something to add to it, I'd love to be able to use it later and act like I said it. So there's 2 types of takedowns. There's the takedown where your feet aren't allowed to move and your body goes somewhere. And there's the type of takedown where your feet move somewhere but your body doesn't.
That's an interesting way to put it. I think all takedowns have 3 parts.
It's gonna sound way better than mine.
Yeah, the kazushi, the tsukuri, and the kake. Right? The kazushi is the off balance, where you off balance someone, which means you take their upper body and shift it away from their center of gravity and their base, which is their legs.
Sure.
Right?
Yep.
And the tsukuri, which is the shape of the technique, right? Which I make the shape of the technique to create that fulcrum, right?
Yes.
Keeping my
Yes.
center of gravity lower, whether it's my hips or my legs.
Yep.
Right? And then the kake is the actual commitment and following through, where you're trying to tip them through.
I see
that fulcrum.
Pull. I see.
Right? So that's sort of the 3-part idea and take something down.
So the first one was